I spent $500 on Facebook ads, and I want to tell you what actually happened. This is not a theory video. This is a real test with real numbers. I started curious and ended a little shocked. I learned simple mistakes that almost ruined the whole test. I also found one tweak that flipped everything. By the end, you will know the exact numbers I got and the one move that made the campaign profitable. This is a story, not a lecture. Listen for 3 practical steps you can copy tonight. I promise no jargon and no fluff. Stay with me. The best part comes in paragraph 12. I had a course and a free cheat sheet to promote. Organic reach was slow, so I wanted faster feedback. 500 felt like a realistic test budget. I wanted to see if small budgets can still win on Facebook. I also wanted to practice scaling without burning cash. The goal was a clear ROI and one repeatable formula. I expected some waste, but not a flop. I set a time frame of 4 weeks to judge results. This was an experiment, not a launch. The experiment started with simple ideas, which I explain next. My plan was simple and strict. Step 1 was split testing 3 ad creatives. Step 2 was testing 2 audiences. Step 3 was 1 landing page with a clear CTA. I named each ad, so tracking was painless. I set daily caps to avoid overspend. I scheduled checks every 2 days. I decided to pause losers fast and double winners. The plan was to keep emotion out of decisions. Stick to the plan became my daily rule, and it mattered. I made 3 ad creatives with different hooks. One was a straight testimonial style. One was a curiosity hook about saving money. One was a short value video showing a quick tip. I used captions and a bold headline for each. The thumbnail frame had a clear promise. Creative A got attention but not clicks. Creative B had clicks but poor conversions. Creative C started slow and improved after tweaks. The creative story leads directly into the offer I used next. The offer was a paid mini course priced at $29. I bundled a free cheat sheet to increase perceived value. The landing page showed a clear price and benefits. I tested getting the price above the fold. I also tried a subtle urgency line for social proof. The funnel was 1 page and 1 checkout to reduce friction. The offer had a small upsell for a premium workbook. I watched how many people took the upsell during week 2. The offer performance decided whether scaling made sense. That decision linked tightly to audience targeting, which I set up next. I tested 2 audiences to start, interest and lookalike. The interest audience focused on personal finance keywords. The lookalike came from my email list of customers. I kept demographics broad to let Facebook optimize. Each audience got its own ad set to track performance. Early data showed the lookalike had better conversion rate. Interest audiences brought cheaper clicks but low sales. I moved budget from interest to lookalike after day 4. This shift changed the path of the whole test. That change influenced how I managed budget in the next paragraph. I split the $500 into daily micro budget. This kept spend steady and gave early signals. I set $2 per ad set per day to begin. After winners emerged, I doubled their daily cap. I never put all budget into one ad too fast. Slow scaling saved me from sudden dip. I also reserved 20% to test new creatives. That reserve helped when an unexpected winner appeared. Budget discipline reduced panic and emotional decisions. The way I spent money had direct effects on campaign setup described next. I used conversions objective with the purchase event. I linked the ad account to the landing page pixel. I enabled advantage placements to let Facebook choose. I chose manual bids at first to control cost. I used ATC and purchase as key events to watch. Each ad set had clear naming for easy reporting. I set minimum thresholds before pausing to avoid false signals. I also duplicated ad sets when a pattern looked repeatable. The setup was basic but disciplined to collect clean data. The first 48 hours gave the first real signals, which I show next. The first 2 days were noisy but revealing. I got many impressions and a few clicks. Cost per click started around $1.20. Clicks did not equal conversions yet. I tightened the landing page headline after day 1. I paused one creative that had high CPC and no sales. Data showed a clear winner beginning to form. I felt cautiously optimistic, but wanted more history. Early signals mattered but did not tell the full story. The first week confirmed or denied those early trends, which I explain next. At the end of week 1, totals were messy but useful. I had spent about $150 by then. The winning ad had a conversion rate twice the others. I moved more daily budget to that ad set. Upsell purchases were rare but meaningful to AOV. I tracked return on ad spend closely every morning. Some audiences cooled after day 5 and needed fresh creative. I refreshed the video thumbnail and headline on day 6. The changes nudged the conversion rate up slightly. The tweaks set me up for the pivotal changes I made next. I made 3 quick tweaks after week 1. First, I simplified the checkout to 1 click where possible. Second, I added a short, trust-building line on the page. Third, I raised the perceived value with a bonus video. These small moves improved purchase confidence fast. I also moved the price block above the fold for clarity. Conversion rate rose enough to justify slow scaling. The ads kept the same creative, but the landing page changed. That combination is often where small wins become big ones. The next paragraph shows when the campaign finally turned profitable. The turning point came in week 3, unexpectedly. After the tweaks, conversions increased and cost per acquisition fell. For the first time, revenue exceeded the amount I had spent so far. I remember watching the dashboard and feeling a real shift. The campaign stopped bleeding cash and started showing profit signals. I doubled the daily cap on the winning ad with caution. I also tested a slightly higher bid to win more auctions. The small bid increase brought more scaling room without big cost spikes. That careful scaling created compounding results over days. This moment taught me the importance of timing and patience, which I unpacked next. Proper tracking saved this campaign from bad guesses. I checked the pixel fired on key actions every morning. I also verified server events on the checkout to match the pixel. Missing events had caused earlier misreports on another test. I set UTM tags so analytics tied ads to conversions accurately. Facebook reporting sometimes lagged, so I use GA as backup. Accurate numbers let me compute real ROI without drama. If you skip this step, you may misread winning ads. Good tracking is boring, but it protects your budget. The tracking work linked directly to landing page fixes discussed next. I made a simple landing page that focused on benefits. The hero section promised one clear result in one line. I added social proof and a short testimonial video. I removed distracting links that pulled users away. The checkout button stayed visible as users scrolled. Page speed improvements lowered bounce and helped conversions. Each change was minor, but the sum was powerful. I tested headline color and button copy for small wins. The final page converted much better than the original draft. Landing page performance let me scale with confidence, which I cover next. My cost per click averaged around $1.10 after optimizations. Cost per acquisition settled near $25 on winners. That CAC allowed me to profit on a $29 product with upsells. Average order value rose when people took the workbook upsell. I tracked CAC, AOV, ROAS, and lifetime value where possible. Those metrics gave a full view beyond raw clicks and impressions. Watching the numbers every day kept emotion out of decisions. I used simple spreadsheets to compare days and tests. The numbers told me when to scale and when to pause. The next paragraph reveals the final revenue numbers and ROI. By week 4, conversions became consistent and predictable. The upsell attachment rate climbed to a small but steady percent. I celebrated the first $100 day quietly. That day proved the funnel could deliver repeatable income. Customer feedback helped me tweak the welcome email and reduce refunds. A lower refund rate improved net profitability quickly. Word of mouth from early buyers brought a few organic signups. That organic tail made late-stage scaling cheaper per sale. These early wins built the confidence to test higher budgets. The campaign momentum carried into my final reporting, which I explain next. I scaled in controlled steps to avoid algorithm shock. Each scale moved budget 20 to 50%, not more. I watched CAC for 48 hours after every increase. If CAC rose, I paused and tested a fresh creative. I split test audiences during scaling to protect performance. This method kept ROI stable while impressions grew. Rapid, massive scaling often kills profitable campaigns instantly. Slow, steady scaling preserved the profitable structure I built. The patience paid off when daily revenue climbed predictably. The scaling story leads into how I handled bad days next. Not every day was good, and I expected dip days. When performance dropped, I checked recent changes first. I rolled back the last tweak if it caused the dip. I also reviewed audience overlap, which can cannibalize results. Sometimes the creative simply needed a refresh to stop ad fatigue. I kept a small buffer fund to test quick fixes on bad days. These routines prevented panic and knee-jerk budget cuts. The campaign recovered faster because I had systems in place. Bad days taught me more than good days about resilience. Those lessons influenced my unexpected findings described next. One surprise was how powerful short testimonials were. A 10-second clip of a customer beat longer explainer videos. Another surprise was the upsell performing better on mobile. I also learned that small trust signals reduced refund requests. The audience responded more to quick, clear benefits than long promises. Time of day mattered less than creative relevance for this funnel. I found that ad comments sometimes became mini social proof, addressing common objections in ad copy, preempted refunds. These unexpected lessons shaped later optimizations fast. They all contributed to the final numbers I break down next. After 4 weeks, I had spent $500 total on ads. Total revenue directly attributed to the campaign was $2,500. That means profit before fees and taxes was $2,000. To calculate ROI, I divided profit by ad spend and multiplied by 100. So 2,000 divided by 500 equals 4, and 4 times 100 equals 400%. In short, the campaign returned 4 times the ad spend as profit, or a 400% ROI. Those numbers are clean for ad math, but exclude platform fees and taxes. Net results after fees were slightly lower but still strong. The clear headline is 500 turned into 2,500 in tracked revenue. Next, I break down how profit flowed and the real takeaways for creators like you. Of the 2,500 in revenue, about 400 went to payment fee. Refunds and chargebacks cost roughly 50 do. I will repeat split testing creatives early and often. I will keep the lookalike audience as my first scale audience. I will reserve a small test budget for new thumbnails each week. I will keep strict naming and tracking to avoid confusion. I will prioritize landing page speed and clarity from day one. I will protect a reserve fund to handle bad days without panic. I will keep micro-scale increases during scaling instead of big jumps. I will continue to use short testimonials as ad proofs. These repeatable moves form the backbone of success for this test. The next paragraph lists what I would avoid next time. I would avoid throwing big budgets at unproven audiences. I would avoid complicated funnels in a small test. I would avoid changing too many variables at once. I would avoid ignoring back-end costs until reporting time. I would avoid trusting early wins without consistent data. I would avoid ads that promise unrealistic guarantees. I would avoid using too many external links on the landing page. I would avoid relying solely on one placement or creative. I would avoid emotional decisions during a dip day. Those avoidance rules saved me from common growth traps and lead to the Q&A style paragraph next. People ask which creative I would double, and the answer is the short testimonial. People ask how long before seeing profit, and I say look at week 3. People ask if 500 is enough, and I answer yes for tests if you follow the rules. What ad copy lines worked best was a quick benefit plus scarcity. How did I measure profit precisely? Was by matching UTMs to purchases. Would this scale to $5,000 of spend? Is the real next test. Should you use the same audiences or test fresh lookalikes? Is a good question. The honest truth is testing beats guessing every time. If you want my exact spreadsheet, say spreadsheet below, and I will share it. These Q&A points lead into the final takeaway you need to remember. The key takeaway is a small disciplined test can prove a funnel quickly. $500 became a real learning machine for me. Smart tracking and small landing page tweaks mattered more than fancy ads. Patience with slow scaling protected the wins and avoided crashes. Short testimonials and a clear offer drove the most conversions. Net profit after fees showed the campaign was worth repeating. Treat tests like experiments, not make or break launches. Use data to decide, not hope or gut feelings. Repeat the small wins and ignore shiny marketing noise. If you keep this approach, you can learn fast without burning cash, which the outro expands on next. Thanks for staying with the case study, and I hope it helps you test smarter. If you want my exact ad naming template and budget sheet, click the playlist linked now. I made a short video that walks through my landing page edits step by step, and it is next on the screen. Watch that video to copy the exact headline and button wording that moved conversions. If you found value, hit like and subscribe so I can bring more real tests to this channel. Comment ROI if you want the raw numbers sheet, and I will pin a link in the description. Join the playlist to see similar ad tests and funnels that scaled after small wins. Share this video with one creator who needs a low-cost test plan. Thanks again, and see you in the next breakdown where we push the budget higher. Now click the video on screen to learn how I doubled daily revenue without breaking the funnel.